Hey, hey, hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you are doing well, and it's time for another edition of Reviewing Your Music, where I hop into social media, I ask you to submit your, your music to me, and I go over the music, I listen to it, I try it out, I give my critiques, I give my opinions, hopefully give some independent, some underground stuff a little bit of shine. Remember and recall, the point of this segment is not to bully anybody or give anyone a hard time or crap all over anybody's day or art or anything like that. I'm giving my honest and sincere opinions of music that you guys have created and submitted to me voluntarily. I'm not seeking anybody out and trying to give anybody specifically a negative opinion or anything like that. If I happen to like your music, I like it. If I don't, I don't. And that's that. You know, take whatever views you get from me in stride, I guess. Of course, we will link you to other episodes from this series down there in the description so you can see them for yourself. And let's go. Let's get into it. Let's start scrolling down in this thread, picking out some songs at random and seeing what you guys are cooking up. Okay, this first one comes from someone on Twitter who goes by the name of The Indifference, looks like, spelled out in an interesting way. The Blue Beetle production, APOC Crisis, WTSTG, coming soon. All right, it's on SoundCloud. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what this sounds like.
Just get some inspiration, y'all be on the same shit. I'm trying to take up off this spaceship, fucking altercation.
Okay, I got to stop it there. Honestly, I do not quite get what's going on with these recess rhymes, these schoolyard rhymes that are going on here. I'm blue and brown when you use a noun. I go to the town with a frown and I walk upside down. I'm a king with a crown. Yeah, the rhyme schemes leave a lot to be desired. I do love the jazzy beat. I like the kind of left field abstract hip hop aesthetics that are going on here. There are some decent qualities about this track, but the flow just feels really sloppy, which I think could have been made up for if the lyrics were better quality. You know, if the lyrics were more interesting, I feel like you could get away with maybe recommending this track to a fan of some rap songs or like a Mike album or something like that. But given that the flow is kind of shaky and the lyrics aren't really doing or saying all that much, and the rhymes are just painfully basic and uninspired, I'm not really getting a whole lot from this. But you know, you're putting a whole lot more together in terms of music that is listenable than some people out there are. So I guess keep at it, you know, keep at it, keep doing your thing, get that pen game up, and you know, maybe next time around you'll hit one out of the park for me, I guess. All right, let's move on to the next one. Yo, drop your needle on this one. Production by me, performed by this person over here, Nahlah. It sounds interesting. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a try. It's going to pop me over to this other link, which is a song link. I'm guessing it's this track over here. Let's play it. Let's try it. Ba-bam.
I barely passed the age 19. Prior to the dream, wish I could keep friends.
All right, this one was not bad. It, to me, read almost like a Sampha song. It was a very moody, piano-backed R&B track with a flourish of art pop in there, with a very just spacious atmosphere, with a very simple and sparse beat pulsing away in the background, a little disjointed. I'll say the percussion was a little sharp, too pristine, could have been dusted up a little bit and maybe brought behind the vocals a bit more. That would be my biggest critique about the production. That and some of the filters I thought were a bit excessive and didn't add that much to the progress of the track. I get the producer might have been trying to do what they could in order to create the sensation of progression across the track, add more detail, add little subtle variations so that it doesn't feel like the same thing over and over and over. But the best solution to that is to write a hook that actually contrasts from the rest of the verses on the song, frankly. I feel like the structure could have used a bit more change, a bit more variation, but still, I thought the piano phrase on this thing was gorgeous. I thought the vocals were really captivating. I thought the overall vibe of the song was incredibly alluring, generally beautiful. I was pretty impressed with it. I mean, while there were little nitpicky things I didn't quite care for with the percussion, I did end up listening to the entire thing because I was kind of stunned with how pretty some elements of the track were. So I would say that this one's very listenable. This one's worth checking out. It's a good one, and I think further potential from here. Hopefully, this one was very pretty. Enjoyed it. Do 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 do. This one looks weird. Johnny Manchild, You Know You Want To. The Message. A song, or rather an album, by Johnny Manchild and the Poor Bastards on Spotify. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a shot. Ba-bam. Okay, I got to stop this here. Why is this so good? Why is this so goddamn good? Huh? What right does this song have being as good as it is? Johnny Manchild. I will say that, to be nitpicky, I wasn't so crazy about the voice on the track. Mr. Manchild, living up to his name, does sound quite young. Maybe with some time his voice will mature a bit, get a bit more, I don't know, gusto or something to it. There was something about his singing that to me just felt very vanilla and boyish that I didn't quite care for. However, all of that is very much made up for, and then some, by the fact that the song is incredibly catchy. Vocal melody is great. The instrumentation is incredibly tight. The bridge that features some really wild, synced up, what sounds like piano notes and sax notes, is fantastic. It's a good quality piece of piano rock that sounds like it's exhibiting some Ben Folds influences, maybe a little bit of Weezer, maybe a little bit of Jeff Rosenstock if you take all the punk out and the self-loathing and all that negative stuff. Maybe a little bit of Springsteen too if you were to have him employ more alternative rock and just generally pop rock influences. It's a good quality track. It's a great song. I think the production could have been a bit smoother. It's not the most high quality, high gloss recording I've ever heard in my entire life, but it does the job. I like this a lot. And I think, again, it mostly comes down to how great the instrumental performance is and how impeccably solid the tune is. Before the song was even over, I found myself singing along with the last chorus, just mouthing along with the melody because it's that sweet, it's that good. So Johnny Manchild, good on you for coming up with this catchy ass track, and goddamn you for winning me over in such a short amount of time. Good for you. Good for you. Wow, I like that quite a bit. That was impressive. Let's move on to the next one then. Woo! White rapper rapping here, puke emoji. I'm going to have to pass. You're already giving me the puke emoji. I'm not going to jump on it. Inventor of comedy, Minecraft rap song. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing a Minecraft rap song. No, that guy's verified. We want an indie musician. We want a real non-verified indie, true blue indie, independent musician. California Cousins at Cal Cousins. They say, hope you like rocking out. Oh, I hate rocking out, but I'm going to give this a try anyway, even though I hate rocking out. California Cousins, Aspirin. Let's try it.
Could you show me the right direction? Or continue as my distraction?
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I really don't like rocking out. I just wish math rock and emo, and I guess in this case even screamo, they really need a divorce. They really truly need a divorce. I have no idea what happened. I mean, when I was growing up, math rock was math rock, and emo and screamo were emo and screamo, and never shall the two meet in any significant way, at least not in the way that it's colliding here. I really don't entirely know where to start. I mean, a lot of the mixing to me is very rough, to the point where the guitars, even occasionally the vocals, especially at the start, are very pitchy and hurt to listen to a little bit. I can appreciate the aggressive performance the band is trying to pull out here, but the execution between the drums and the guitars is so sloppy. These very mathematical riffs and rhythms don't really sync up as tightly as I think they should, because the result is quite jumbled. I think that if the mix were a little bit better, the screen vocals would sound better too, more palatable at least. Yeah, this was difficult. This was difficult to get through for me personally. I mean, maybe if this is your type of music, something that really truly does excite you, this marriage of sounds, you can get into some elements of the writing here, but even in that case, you have to acknowledge the mix here is not all that good, leaves a lot to be desired. But hey, A for effort on the music video, and cool Vane hoodie in the house. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Melon. Tunnel Eyes. Production. Dexta. Oh, that's a cool little name. Dexta. Fuck Robbie on Twitter. This is by Trinity. Okay, it's on SoundCloud. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what we got going on here. Maybe some weird, dark goth raps, considering all the crosses on the cover art here. Let's see.
Tunnel lies, 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 tunnel lies.
Okay, I think I'm going to leave it at that. This was a little rough, but that's not to say that there wasn't potential here. I did think the beat was really cool. Yeah, a little rough, a little simple, but I thought the idea of looping this particular very dark, almost gothic piano phrase was really good. I thought that the dark, brooding, tortured, morbid vibes surrounding the song felt authentic. It was tangible. It was real. It was there. I would, however, like to hear a version of this song with a slightly higher tempo, because even when the rapping on this thing was good, it felt like maybe there were a little bit too many gaps in between syllables, in between lines, to really kind of keep the momentum of this track going. You could just up the tempo a little bit and still keep it relatively dark. Now, as far as the other major complaint I have about the song, a major one and a minor one. I'll do the minor one first. I think the vocals could have been mixed better. They feel a little flat. They're overtaking the beat a bit more than I think they need to. Vocal mixing could be better. Sync them into the beat a bit more, but just enough so that you're not actually losing their intelligibility. The last major issue I had with the song is that the first rapper on the track sounded pretty good. Switched up his flow a little bit, had some interesting lyrics, obviously came through with the whole tunnel eyes thing and delivered it very well over the chorus. However, the other two verses and the other two rappers on the track were nowhere near as good. Some of the lines came off goofy. The flows, even though the track was very slow, came off very awkward. On a beat this slow, you should be able to just dance and shimmy on top without much in the way of putting a lot of thought into it. But still, even at the incredibly slow tempo the song is moving at, still the flow still felt awkward, like they didn't exactly know where to place themselves with some lines. So improve on the rapping, maybe bring the tempo up a little bit to give the song a bit more oomph and momentum. But outside of that, I thought this track had some very good qualities to it. Very good qualities to it. You know, if you're a huge Ugly Mane or a Bones or any number of a Suicide Boys fan, you might find some potential in what these kids are doing. They're clearly listening to at least one of those artists to pull together what they're doing here. So give it a shot. All right, let's see it. We'll goof off at least one time in this video. Young Rysenberg. Show this to your wife. Rap Game Jeff Goldblum. Production Rysenberg. Okay, let's see if this man lives up to the name. Ba-bam.
Jeff Goldblum, getting lit early like Kathy Lee and hold up. I'm old and wise like Master Yoda.
All right, I'm sorry. Yoda ad-libs are where I draw the line. Yeah, this felt very Little B inspired, but the jokes weren't really landing as well. It felt a little Young Gravy inspired, but again, the jokes weren't really landing as well. Trap influenced beat, slow flow, kind of a goofy delivery, supremely subpar vocal mixing. So whenever he's shouting or the ad-libs or the background vocals are getting really loud, they sort of overshadow the lead vocals or get so loud they're kind of jumping the volume very high, and it's a little jarring. Yeah, I guess we essentially have a comedy track here that isn't as comedic as it would like to be. But hey, you know, it's there are times when I'm trying to be funny and I'm not very funny either. So I sympathize. I did think some of the Jurassic Park lines on here were clever, though. I did like that. But once we're going into Yoda territory, we're done. We're finished. All right, I think I'm going to leave it at that, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. You are the best. Thank you very much for sending all of these tracks my way. We will see you guys in the next episode in this series. Over here next to my head is another episode of it, so you can check it out yourself. That and a link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Jeff Goldblum, reviewing your music forever.